again. Anyway, but Billy and I grew up in an era where
we didn't lock our doors.
We didn't have to.
Yeah.
You know, and also you could
unlocked.
trust that the guy who has the knight's outfit with the sword, the broadsword at his side, that he's not going to pull it out and start hacking at people. We've gone into an era in this 21st century where you can't trust that as much anymore. And it's unfortunate. It really is a bad apple spoils the whole bunch effect, because I'm pretty sure 99.5% of the people who walk through our door, you're going to be able to trust and understand and appreciate and share things with. But you can't risk that there's going to be that one maniac who walks through the door
and ruins it for everybody.
So what we want to do is create a policy that doesn't ruin it for everybody, but gives everybody the understanding that we want to make sure that they are safe. You know, we're not going to be if you come in and you're doing Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy and you've got the big, really huge, like foam plastic sword, we're not going to ding you for it. You know, we're just going to ask you don't swing it around like a maniac. You know, just you know, it's part of your costume. We get it. We're going to have somebody check it out to make sure nothing's hiding in it or anything like that, and then we'll move on. Ray, go ahead.
Didn't you have that at the first one?
We did have that we had it at the first two. We were basically trying to, basically our entire weapon policy was don't be a dick. That's basically it.
Don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid. We're going to keep an eye on you. And if we don't, and we told people right up front, if we're not comfortable with it, we're going to communicate with you. We had one guy who did a scary clown thing. And he reached out.
Oh, my God.
He reached out to us ahead of time.
Beforehand.
He reached out to us ahead of time, said, here is my whole outfit. This is what I want to do. Is it kosher? That was classy. We were like, you gave us the opportunity to comment on it. So we really appreciate that. We're going to ask you to kind of tone it down just a little bit. If there's certain parts you can kind of avoid doing. But other than that, have a great time. Feel free to do your thing, and we really appreciate you stepping up to us. So cosplayers, if you are not completely 100% convinced that maybe one of your pieces is a little questionable, reach out and ask us. Send us pictures. Say, hey, FC3, this is my costume. Is it cool? And we can look and say, hey, can you, or we might just say, no problem, just check in with us at the front gate and let us know so we can let you in. You know, it may lead to a program where we do special passes ahead of time, like pre-screening at the airport almost.
Right.
You know, we can set that up ahead of time where we can get together and we can inspect your materials ahead of time and say, okay, this is all signed off. We'll, put a little marker on it or whatever. We'll put a little peace tie on it or something that's just to see that we've done it. Well, we're going to be flexible. But like I said, and as in everything else, as with the way we approach the vendor floor, as we approach our panel schedule, as we approach everything that we do, FC3, we want to do everything balanced. We want to give you the opportunity to be creative, but we also want to make sure you understand that we're doing the things we do to make sure that everybody is safe. Did you have your hand up, Ray? Did you want to say something else?
Oh, no, I just had a story about Austin.
We'll get to that. We'll get back to
Austin
in a moment.
I'm just waiting.
Because I'm pretty sure everybody at this table has an Austin story at this point now.
Oh, yeah.
So and Tanya has a couple of Austin stories that didn't actually happen in reality, but they happen in the back of her mind while she's just kind of sitting there staring at him, going, "Oh my God, he's so dreamy."
He is so dreamy. He's so cute.
He's a pocket full of wonderful.
He is. He really is. He is.
But
Sybil has a couple of great stories about Austin too. But go ahead, Tanya.
But this does a nice segue into the cosplay contest area and things like that, because there was a lot of feedback in regards to the cosplay contest. And yes, we do admit that we were not necessarily as organized this year as we were last year, and we definitely have to make improvements for that. And we've already acknowledged the fact that the cosplay contest said from 12 to 2 in the program, but what we really need to do, and there was a couple of them in here that were talking about, the schedule said 12 to 2, but it didn't really start until 1:15. And then the other issue was that they encountered was the prejudging of the cosplay contest was listed as if it was the actual contest. So that's back on us to make sure. I think Sybil's breathing heavy.
Yeah,
Sybil, you okay, honey?
Yeah, just little pain from my foot.
Oh, that's right. You had foot surgery recently.
I'm sorry.
We're all sending good love and juju.
So thanks.
We're already acknowledging the fact that we have to make the adjustments in the programming as part of the programming that the cosplay, it'll be cosplay prejudging on the thing that that the cosplay contest will be from this time to this time, but prejudging, maybe we'll have to make a note somewhere so it's not necessarily people are not sitting there waiting on the stage for the cosplay contest to start when you need 45 minutes to an hour to prejudge everyone's costumes before they actually go. And that's definitely not my forte, so we'll have to defer to our cosplay
ambassador to the cosplay nation,
yes.
Rika.
In order to get that to be a little more flowing, because I know there were a lot of people on the steps waiting for the cosplay, and I at least came through the foyer at one time going, there's way too many people out here, I'm going this way type thing, because there was people in line waiting to be judged, people in line, and they just didn't get to it yet. So,
well, and a lot of the issues that we had throughout the course of the weekend was our own fault. They were our own doing. There was a cock-up in the programming, in the actual structural physical program itself, the schedule that
didn't get translated well to Sunday that we didn't watch.
Our layout person made a quick shortcut, and it went through 2 proofreadings from the actual board of directors, and we all missed it. So it's nobody's fault but the board of directors. We blew something out of the water there, and so it ended up confusing everybody on Sunday.
And we totally apologize for
that.
I
mean, we're going to own it. We learned from that, and we're going to own it, and I'm going to... Did you got a hand up over there? No? Okay.
No,
I saw a hand up over here.
going for donuts.
Gotcha. Donut holes are rolling around the room right now.
You guys are welcome.
Can I just mention real quickly
Yeah.
that this is your second Comic-Con?
Mm-hmm.
And that we rolled in this second Comic-Con like we have been doing this all our lives.
Yeah.
So for errors like that to happen and beat yourself up really bad about it, it's not even worth the time. The only thing is we're to improve and owning it. But so everybody realizes this is the second Comic-Con, not the 99th.
She's
and
our voice of reason more than I am.
Out there
I'm telling you, she's awesome.
That we went to the hugest one out in New York City, and they had many things that we thought were not up to par, considering the amount of time that they were up and running, and mostly with the organizations and I called it the line-a-thon because it was so difficult to just get to where you needed to go. We had at least 2 pre-lines before we got to the line. I actually slept in a line waiting to get to the next line.
We both did. We fell asleep right in the line.
That's amazing.
This actually ran without a hitch that I think of. We had a little bit of miscommunication, but nothing that didn't dissolve itself right there on the spot. So this is the second annual Comic-Con, and we're going on the third, and I think it was wonderful.
How are we doing on time, Billy?
We're 52 minutes.
Oh, we're cruising right along. Yep. We'll roll around this one up to an hour. Okay. That's fine. I'm pretty. I'm good at talking, as everybody in the room knows.
Really?
Angie, thank you. That was an awesome comment. That's
Sunday,
great. Go ahead.
I like this Comic-Con.
You like this Comic-Con?
Well, thanks. I think we'll keep you.
Thanks.
Well, it's your Comic-Con too now, man.
Wait.
Congratulations.
Does that mean I'm hired again?
You put your volunteer application back in, and we'll see where we put you.
See, Tony can tell you that everybody who gets fired, it's just automatically assumed that you're usually hired within the next 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Ray can't be my babysitter anymore.
Ray can't be your babysitter anymore?
No, I'm going to volunteer next year.
That's right. You're going to be 16 next year.
You'll still be watched.
No. You know what the thing is, Jules? This is
You'll
my daughter
actually have to
Juliana who
work.
made that mention right there.
No cosplay contest.
You're going to have to
things?
work. You're going to have to
I know.
be part of things,
I
and
know.
I get to fire you now.
You've been doing that all my life. I'm not
No,
surprised.
I usually it's called I'm grounding you. That's a difference.
No.
You can't
There is
really
a
fire her.
huge
She's a
difference.
volunteer. She's not getting
She's a
paid.
fire second paid. Well, Tony never called me on that. Thank you for feeding him that one.
Yeah, but now he's been promoted.
Well, he's a staffer now, so now I can demote him and fire him. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I got
it's
options.
fun.
There
It's
was
a golf bag.
A whole
Go ahead.
spiel with this last month that I had to get out, and Comic-Con was the thing that I needed to do.
Yeah.
And
No, you had a rough month.
I had a horrible month, but there was a bright side.
And we brought it to you, brother.
And Flower City Comic Con was that.
That was it.
Flower City was part of the bright side.
Yeah.
Now,
Go ahead,
Calm
Bill.
down, Junior.
now, before we started recording, Tanya had some notes. There was a poll up that
Yes.
people.
Awesome.
I'd like to know what some of the comments were, both
Then-
positive,
You know what?
negative.
So we will
Positive,
start.
let's
We will
hear it.
start wrapping this particular podcast up by firing off some of these comments. Now we got these comments. Dan sent out a survey to anybody who bought tickets online through our GrowTix application. So we got something like.
And it's also on our Facebook page.
And it's also been posted to our Facebook page. So even now, if you
We're
have
still
comments,
gonna take
we're going to
comments.
listen and hear. And we've received we've over 200 responses already at this point. I think.
Right now on here it's 191.
Okay.
Plus
so that was
everything that
was when that was printed out last week. So we know.
Right.
I know we've gotten a couple of new ones. Now these
Absolutely.
comments, a lot of them are positive. Some of them are constructive. Like I said, a couple of people just felt like trolling us for the fun of it.
Yeah.
We might even read one of those for the fun of it. But go ahead, Tanya. Read a couple ones
the very
off.
first one is the construction of the venue was a little frustrating, but okay. And I think looking at the escalator issue
Yeah.
in the convention center
That was rough.
and some of the construction issues are definitely out of our control. But I'm glad that they said that it was just frustrating, but okay. I know that there was convention staff there directing people, saying that you could still use the escalators. It was just a little daunting starting to go down those first couple steps because
of the way they're balanced.
They were balanced, and it was kind of weird. Or you could wait 20 years for the elevator to come up and get you.
That elevator in the convention center is slower than Congress.
Actually, can I just say, the construction downtown did us no favors.
No,
not just the race. The race was a pain, but
did you see our new attraction on Sunday? The new,
when they were
the newest
removing the
attraction
debris?
outside, when the crane was outside taking the logs out of the river.
Oh, I did see that, yes.
So I actually had posted a picture on our Facebook page to come down and see our new attraction on Sunday type thing.
The deconstruction of Groot.
Yeah. Oh. Where were you on that day?
Oh, we needed that comment 2 weeks
that.
ago.
Oh,
that's
man.
awesome.
Poor Groot.
That was phenomenal.
But can I tell you, like, even that morning, we're like, whatever. But half of us ran outside to the patio to watch them for like 5-10 minutes because what person, adult, kid, whatever, doesn't like a big truck or a crane or whatever to see what they're doing type thing. So I played it up, and that was one of the things. So,
before you go into the next comment.
Okay.
Go ahead,
I
Ray.
was just agreeing with her. That's
okay.
fine.
All right. Gotcha. I thought you had something you wanted to add. Go ahead, Tanya.
And we already talked about, and I had highlighted that the times on Sunday were different than in the book, and so people had missed them. And we already said that that's definitely our fault, that we need to double check the program.
Right.
What they would like is a video game room, and that's definitely something that
we're actually working on that.
We talked about that.
Yeah,
yes,
that's something we're working on for
you were talking
2018.
about
I'm going to try and put a flyer around RIT campus. See if I can get some indie game developers from RIT.
That'd be great.
Yep.
I love this. It says a special treat was the Starship Bridge Simulator. That was unexpected and amazing in capital letters.
Yeah, Rick is awesome with his team.
He's like, please invite them back.
I went in there and I just sat and watched the people do it.
Yeah.
You didn't play?
No, someone said, "Would you like to try?" No, I just like watching you.
We went a couple times and we couldn't get in. There was so many. It was always filled
I
every
think
time.
Rick said there was like only 3 slots that were not used the entire weekend.
And what's Rick's last? It was Asteline?
Asteline.
Rick Asteline and the Starship Bridge Simulator folks.
Starship Horizons.
Bridge
Simulators.
These guys are awesome. They were with us first year. They were going to be with us. You know what? As long as we're going to be putting on Comic-Cons, the Bridge Simulator is going to keep coming back.
One thing that people would like is descriptions of the panels in the guide, and that's basically...
I had them all written up, but I didn't transfer them to the program, so that was my mistake.
And so that's something that we're starting to do now. Is I know Dan has created an FC...
the FC3 2018 board is already open.
Files already open on our Dropbox, so I think he's already created something that says program in there, so... We're going to have to give Tony access to that part of Dropbox.
Tony, once we know the exact layout of how we're going to do things, you and I will start working on panels right off the bat. And then the descriptions. Go from there.
So we have the descriptions right away.
And if you ever need help writing things down, just let me know.
Of course.
Someone said to take a peek at Hawaii Con's events program descriptions from 2016 for ideas.
Okay.
So I highlighted that. It's like, because it's a small target con of only about 5,000 visitors, so it's a smaller con like ours.
Okay.
So that's cool. I thought it was a great thing to do. People are suggesting that we have like one huge current comic artist writer, that it would draw more comic people to the con instead of a lot of littler ones.
We are already working on our guest list for 2018, and we have 1 or 2 people in mind for the comic book artist presentation, and there's some very cool names involved right now.
Somebody did say that they can suggest some people for us for next year to help with the panels. So whoever you were, we'll go back and try to find you. You were number 95 on our list.
We're going to start recruiting volunteers, I think, probably around the end of the summer. We're going to start working on recruiting and requiring and organizing the volunteers right off the bat.
And as soon as we know the official dates, we're going to probably open the volunteer link on GrowTix so people can just start, so we can start organizing now.
Bingo.
Because the more time that we have, the
better it'll be.
Some people were suggesting that a bigger venue would work. As Chris has already mentioned, that we have half of the upstairs next year. So,
and venue is always a thing. When we started working on the first show 3 years ago at this point now, wow.
I think it was like 4 years ago, wasn't it?
2014 Late 2014 is when we had our first meeting at your house for the 16 show.
It feels like so long ago.
I know
I
it does.
actually want to
doesn't
know
it?
how that conversation started.
We'll tell that story another day.